Soul Train wasn't just a television show. It was a cultural eruption that shook American entertainment in 1971. A revolution of rhythm, style, and unapologetic Black pride. It catapulted Black music and dance into mainstream consciousness. But what fueled this high-energy phenomenon? And what was bubbling beneath the surface? From its soaring success to fiery behind-the-scenes conflicts, this is the story of Soul Train, its towering legacy, the controversies it faced, and where its brightest stars are now. The birth of a cultural movement. In the heart of 1970s Chicago, a former radio DJ and news anchor named Don Cornelius was on a mission. Working at WVON, one of the city's most influential Black radio stations, Cornelius saw firsthand how African-American culture, especially its music and dance, was virtually invisible on television. Determined to change that, he created something revolutionary: Soul Train, a local UHF program on WCIU-TV designed to spotlight Black excellence in its purest form. This wasn't just a TV show. It was a visual love letter to Black artistry, identity, and freedom of expression. Cornelius envisioned Soul Train as more than just a groovy dance party. It was a stage for Black musicians, dancers, and trendsetters to be seen, celebrated, and respected, something rarely offered by mainstream media at the time. The format was simple, yet electrifying. Live performances from rising and legendary Black artists, dancers showcasing fearless originality, and fashion that screamed boldness and individuality. Back then, almost no major network was showcasing Black performers. Cornelius knew that Soul Train could be more than a hit. It could be a lifeline. It offered African-American audiences a sense of pride and connection while offering the rest of America a window into a culture too often ignored or misrepresented. Every spin, step, and song on Soul Train was a declaration. Black is beautiful, powerful, and unstoppable. When Soul Train first aired in Chicago in August 1970, it didn't just attract viewers, it ignited a movement. Its authenticity, raw energy, and cultural focus resonated deeply. And at the center of it all was Cornelius himself. Cool, composed, and charismatic, his voice became as iconic as the music itself. Seeing the local buzz build into something electric, Cornelius set his sights on the big stage. And on October 2, 1971, Soul Train went national, becoming the first television show of its kind to be both created and hosted by an African American. It wasn't just a milestone, it was a revolution in broadcast history. No longer confined to local markets, Black artists were now center stage across the country. The national show didn't stray from its roots. It remained proudly focused on soul, funk, and R&B, while featuring powerhouses like Gladys Knight and the Pips, Eddie Kendricks, and Honey Cone in its early episodes. Soul Train wasn't just giving these artists exposure. It was transforming careers and rewriting the rules of what success could look like for Black entertainers. But the show's impact reached far beyond music. It influenced fashion, inspired dance trends, and gave young Black Americans something precious: representation. Dancers from Los Angeles became local celebrities in their own right, dazzling with styles that blended funk, flair, and fearlessness. At the heart of each episode was the iconic Soul Train line, a joyful, freestyle runway of movement and self-expression that became a symbol of cultural pride and youthful rebellion. The Don Cornelius Era. From 1971 to 1993, Don Cornelius was more than just the host of Soul Train. He was its visionary, architect, and heartbeat. With his signature voice smooth as velvet and a presence that exuded quiet power, he wasn't just introducing acts, he was guiding a generation. His now legendary sign-off, "Love, Peace, and Soul," wasn't just a catchphrase. It was a mantra, a philosophy, a promise. Through turbulent times and shifting trends, Cornelius held fast to his vision. A show that elevated and dignified Black culture. He didn't just want to entertain, he wanted to uplift. Behind the scenes, Cornelius was a powerhouse. He wrote, produced, and directed the show, maintaining creative control at every level. In a television world that gave few Black creators any real power, his command over Soul Train was nothing short of historic. That control ensured the show never drifted from its core mission: to celebrate Black excellence with pride, polish, and power. He obsessed over the details, the lighting, the camera angles, the outfits, the dance floor. Every episode was curated to reflect sophistication and cultural richness. Cornelius refused to let Soul Train be reduced to stereotype or spectacle. Instead, he built a brand that redefined what Black television could be: stylish, soulful, and smart. And the music? That was all Cornelius. He handpicked the artists, choosing both legends and rising stars with an ear for timeless talent. Aretha Franklin, Marvin Gaye, Earth, Wind and Fire. These icons graced the Soul Train stage, and in doing so, reached millions who might never have seen them otherwise. But Cornelius's spotlight wasn't limited to music. He championed Black dance and fashion as vital cultural expressions. The dancers, bursting with individuality, became cultural tastemakers. With Cornelius's encouragement, they pushed the limits of movement and self-expression, while he ensured the show's image remained sharp, elegant, and forward-thinking. Even after stepping away from hosting duties in 1993, Cornelius remained the soul behind Soul Train. From the shadows, he continued shaping its style, protecting its legacy, and honoring the vision he fought so hard to build. Behind the scenes and controversies, Soul Train brought music, dance, and fashion into living rooms across the country and ran successfully for decades. But behind the scenes, things were not always as smooth as they appeared. While the dancers were the heart of the show and helped define its style and energy, many were not paid for their performances. They were celebrated on camera and admired for their talent, but when it came to financial compensation, they received nothing. Don Cornelius, who created and produced the show, defended this by saying that being seen on national television was a reward in itself. Dancers were required to rehearse and perform for long periods, staying energetic and creative during recordings, but very few had contracts or any formal recognition. Without financial support or acknowledgement, many dancers became frustrated. Their performances helped draw in viewers and made the show memorable, yet they remained on the sidelines when it came to sharing profits or receiving credit. As the show expanded into selling merchandise and creating live tours, the dancers were still left out of any income from those ventures. This led to louder complaints and more people speaking out about being treated unfairly. The dancers helped build the image and excitement of Soul Train, yet many felt ignored when it came time to share in its growing success. Another big issue involved royalty payments and the use of people's work without permission. Joe Cobb, who gave the famous voice introduction Soul Train in the early 1970s, became part of a legal dispute after his payments suddenly stopped in the year 2008. Even though his voice continued to be used in reruns, DVDs, and other forms of media, Cobb was no longer being paid for it. In the year 2024, he decided to take legal action and filed a lawsuit in federal court against Paramount Global, CBS Entertainment, and BET. He accused them of using his voice without permission and demanded they pay him the royalties he was owed. This case shined a light on a bigger issue: how people who helped shape Soul Train's legacy were not always given the respect or payments they deserved for their contributions. Don Cornelius had a strong grip on everything that happened on the show. He controlled not just the look and feel of the show, but also how it operated behind the scenes. This helped create a polished final product, but it also made it hard for others to bring in new ideas or share control. Some people who worked on the show said that Cornelius was very strict and did not like being questioned. His management style kept the show consistent, but it also made many people feel they had no voice. Those who worked closely with him described the workplace as stressful and rigid, which led to tension and disappointment. After Cornelius left the host position in the year 1993, Soul Train began to change, and that change was not easy. The show tried out new hosts, including comedian Mistro Clark in the year 1997, actor Shamar Moore in the year 2000, and Dorian Gregory in the early 2000s. Each host brought their own style, but none of them were able to match the connection that Cornelius had with the audience. He had been the face and spirit of the show for more than 20 years, and without him, something felt missing. As other music and dance shows began to appear, Soul Train found it harder to stay on top. Audience numbers dropped, and its influence started to fade. After being on the air for 35 years, the show finally ended production in the year 2006. Reruns continued under the name The Best of Soul Train, but the special feeling that made the original show so unique was no longer there without its original creator leading the way. Legacy and revival. The legacy of Soul Train continues to shine many years after it ended, thanks to its lasting influence on culture and smart revival efforts. A key way the brand remains alive is through the Soul Train Music Awards. BET brought back these awards in 2009 to celebrate the achievements of Black artists in music and entertainment. These awards recognize talent across different styles like rhythm and blues, soul, gospel, and hip-hop. The event not only honors the original show's impact, but also gives today's artists a way to connect with the deep history of Black music. Through this platform, newer generations are reminded of the trailblazing role Soul Train played in shaping musical expression and style within the Black community. Along with the awards show, Soul Train has been brought to life through events that allow fans to relive its iconic atmosphere. One standout is the BET Soul Train Cruise, which lets fans step into the world of Soul Train by offering an experience filled with music, dance, and fashion from the original show's era. The cruise includes live shows by well-known and rising performers, dance competitions, and themed parties. These activities help keep the Soul Train spirit alive in a way that is lively and memorable. The cruise brings people together who grew up watching the show and those discovering it for the first time, making it a celebration that unites generations through shared joy in music and culture. The influence of Soul Train has also been seen in the development of other music programs. BET's 106 and Park, which aired from the year 2000 to 2014, borrowed many ideas from Soul Train by mixing live music acts, dancing, and content aimed at young viewers. While it appealed to a new generation, its structure reflected what Soul Train had done earlier, giving Black talent a place to shine and creating a sense of community. The show brought together young audiences through performances, interviews, and dancing, echoing the energy that made Soul Train so groundbreaking. Even American Bandstand, a show that started before Soul Train, changed due to Soul Train's success. Though American Bandstand was originally aimed at a mostly white audience, the rising popularity and influence of Soul Train made it clear that Black music and dance held a central role in American pop culture. Because of this, other shows began to feature more diverse performers and reflect the richness of Black musical traditions. This shift helped music television become more inclusive and open to different voices and styles. A big step in protecting and expanding the Soul Train legacy came in the year 2016, when BET, owned by Paramount Global, which used to be called Viacom, bought the rights to the brand. This deal included more than 1,100 episodes and 40 specials, making it one of the largest collections of African American music-related content. BET leaders made it clear that they wanted to respect the legacy of Soul Train, while also looking for ways to introduce it to more people. They planned to do this through a mix of television, live experiences, and digital platforms, making sure that Soul Train remained relevant in a changing media world. This purchase also opened the way for creative projects like a Broadway show and live concert tours based on Soul Train. These projects helped to strengthen the brand's place in American entertainment history. Under BET's care, Soul Train has been handled with both respect for its roots and a fresh approach for newer viewers. The balance between keeping the original energy of the show and finding new ways to share it has helped make sure that the Soul Train name continues to matter across generations. Where are they now? Many dancers who appeared on Soul Train later built impressive careers in entertainment, choreography, and fashion. The show gave them a rare chance to be seen across the country during a time when there were very few platforms for young Black performers. It introduced a wide audience to new talent and helped launch the careers of several people who became well-known in their fields. Rosie Perez is a great example. She joined Soul Train when she was just 19 years old. While she looked confident on screen, Perez later said, "I was terrified during my early appearances." Despite the nerves, her time on the show helped her grow. It played a key role in shaping her future, and she eventually became a respected actress, choreographer, and activist. Jody Watley is another dancer who went on to do big things after her time on Soul Train. She started as a regular dancer and later became a Grammy Award-winning solo singer and an original member of the group Shalimar. Watley has said that being on Soul Train gave her both the confidence and the attention she needed to start her music career. Her journey shows how the show helped many young Black performers reach audiences and become part of the wider entertainment world. Soul Train was more than just a dance show. It was a place where young talent could shine and start their paths toward long-lasting careers. Some other dancers who left strong impressions include Cheryl Song, Patricia Butterfly Davis, and Tyrone Swan. Cheryl Song danced on the show from 1976 to 1990 and became known for breaking barriers as the first non-Black dancer to become a regular. At first, she was not sure about trying out because of her background, but her friends encouraged her. She went ahead with the audition and became a well-loved part of the Soul Train family. Her experience showed that Soul Train was slowly opening doors for more diverse performers and pushing back against racial limitations in entertainment. Patricia Davis, also known as Butterfly, danced on Soul Train from 1971 to 1979. While she was shy when the cameras were off, she became a powerful performer under the lights. She was known for making up her moves on the spot, and her ability to entertain without planned choreography showed just how much talent the show supported. Tyrone Swan, another dancer remembered for his bold look, stood out with his large afro and colorful outfits. He brought a lot of energy to the stage and became known for expressing his personality through dance and fashion. His unique presence reflected what the show was all about: being yourself and showing pride in who you are. The impact of these dancers can still be felt. Many of them went on to work behind the scenes after their time on the show. They used their talents in choreography, costume styling, and production, helping to shape the look and feel of music videos, concert tours, and television shows. Their influence reached far beyond their dancing days on Soul Train and helped define style and movement in entertainment for years to come. The man who created Soul Train, Don Cornelius, made a huge impact by bringing this platform to life. In 2012, he died by taking his own life at the age of 75. His death was a shock to the entertainment world and led to a lot of conversation about his role in shaping black television and music. He had been dealing with health problems and personal struggles, but his work lives on. Cornelius is remembered not just for creating a legendary show, but also for his strong belief in showing black culture with pride, respect, and beauty.